Yeah, Donald Trump looked very sickly yesterday. Again, his hands continued to look like it was rotting before our eyes. Cognitively, he kept on malfunctioning in that disastrous press conference with the president of Poland. Donald Trump's cognitive glitches happening over and over again. If you look at Donald Trump's schedule today, it says that he's not doing anything until this evening, which is odd as well, because he's supposed to do a virtual meeting with the coalition of the European leaders who are supporting Ukraine as Donald Trump continues to look utterly weak and pathetic. And again, I'm not being hyperbolic. I mean, he looks absolutely weak and pathetic, both in terms of him calling the Epstein victims and Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking ring a hoax, saying all the files are a hoax. More on that in a moment. But here's what Donald Trump's been posting all evening. This is what he posted all throughout the night until about midnight. And then the official White House account posted this. It's a AI image of Rosie O'Donnell. And then Donald Trump writes, as previously mentioned, we are giving serious thought to taking away Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. She is not a great American and is, in my opinion, incapable of being so. And it's this weird AI image of Rosie O'Donnell. And then Donald Trump's communications head, Dan Scavino, who has a lot of other senior roles, says Donald Trump just may break the internet shortly. And then Donald Trump proceeds to post this photo of Senator Adam Schiff, this photo of California Governor Gavin Newsom, this photo of sumo wrestlers with the face of former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and current Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker as sumo wrestlers. And this is how the President of the United States is behaving and posting throughout the night last night, to which California Governor Newsom then started to troll Donald Trump and posted images like this of Donald Trump's face. But one of the most sickening things yesterday is not just the way Donald Trump looked, not just his physical appearance where he's rotting before our very eyes, it's his conduct as well. As I mentioned before, and we reported it, we broadcast live the Epstein survivors press conference here on the Midas Touch Network. It's gotten about 1 million views. It was an honor to be able to showcase their stories yesterday. But Donald Trump said it was all a hoax, that all the survivors are hoax, they're faked, they're frauds, they're Democratic operatives. He slandered and defamed them. That's one of the things Donald Trump has done before. We've seen with E. Jean Carroll, defaming sexual assault victims. We've heard Donald Trump before talk about how he himself grabs women by their genitals because he's rich and he gets away with it, so he can sexually assault them. He talks about going into the locker rooms at beauty pageants, and he held beauty pageants for girls 14 through 28, and he would inspect their bodies naked, he said, without their consent, because when you're the owner of a beauty pageant, you just do it. He said that Epstein's a great guy who likes women on the younger side. And Donald Trump the whole day yesterday from the Oval Office with the president of Poland saying it's a hoax, they're all a hoax, they're all hoax, they're Democratic hoaxes. Let me show you this video from last night. This is an individual who was a survivor of Epstein, and she actually voted for Donald Trump because he said he would release the files, and she thought that he would be protective of Epstein victims. Listen to what she had to say here. Play this clip.
How did you feel about that when you heard that word applied to what was happening there?
So I'm going to go off of my survivor sister, Haley Robertson, and I voted for him. I voted for Trump. And for him to say what he is saying, it is beyond me, because I put my hope in him and he's supposed to protect us. And for him to say that this is a joke and that it's sides, this is not sides. We will say it time and time again. None of us are up there accusing him of anything. There is no one that is accusing him of any wrongdoing. So for the fact that he is saying those things and saying it's a hoax, who are you hiding for then? Because if it's not you, then who is it? And that scares me. Who is?
And meanwhile, you had one of Donald Trump's sycophants, James Comer, say the following about Epstein survivors, that the key thing is that Donald Trump's name has never been mentioned. Here, play this clip.
Many of these women said they were teenagers, under 18, when they were groomed by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. and then ended up in bad situations with, according to them, many wealthy, prominent people around the world. Now, one thing that continues to be a recurring theme is Donald Trump's name was never mentioned in any of this. And I think the Democrats have already demonstrated that their sole concern in this whole Epstein saga is to try to somehow find some dirt on Donald Trump when it doesn't appear that there's any dirt there. And what Donald Trump's done is he's disclosed the Epstein files. He's already turned over 34,000 files to the Oversight Committee. We published them online last night. We expect to get more documents in over the next few weeks. So we're providing transparency.
Except James Comer, that's not true. Donald Trump's name is all over the Epstein files. That's why he's hiding the files. On the files that have been released, Donald Trump's name is all over him. He's in Epstein's black book. He's in the depositions. He's on the flight logs. He's mentioned over and over and over again, actually. But in the press conference that we had been broadcasting live on Midas Touch Network, I mean, here's one of the victims speaking and saying that Donald Trump was someone that Epstein bragged about all the time. Play this clip.
My first trip to the Palm Beach residence, I drove there from the airport with Ghislaine Maxwell, and Jeffrey and Ghislaine were always very boastful about their friends.
And here's another victim talking about it as well. Here, play this clip.
He abused not only me, but countless others, and everyone seemed to look away. The truth is, Epstein had a free pass. He bragged about his powerful friends, including our current president, Donald Trump. It was his biggest brag, actually. And while what I endured will haunt me forever, I live every day with PTSD. I live as a mother trying to raise my child while distrusting a world that has betrayed me.
You know, we also heard from Virginia Giuffre, who since died by suicide. Giuffre worked at Mar-a-Lago when she was a girl. She was 17 years old, and Mar-a-Lago was a site where the sex trafficking took place. Virginia Giuffre was found by Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein, and as Trump's words, the girls were stolen from my spa, is what he said. Here's Virginia Giuffre's sister-in-law saying that the fact that Donald Trump saying this a hoax when you heard from all of us is horrific. Play this clip.
I just want to give you a chance to respond. I mean, he's obviously the word hoax. That is the word. That is what he is saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beyond frustrating. I mean, 45 minutes ago, you've heard from every survivor saying this isn't a hoax. The American people know that this isn't a hoax. And so I think we're all tired of like the distractions, the switch and bait. I think we're over that part. And there's just this desire that like this is an ugly stain, that maybe he just wants to disappear and go away, but it's not going to. It's not going to go away. And I think there's a certain point, especially as the leader of our nation, to sit back, take a moment of reflection and understand that this is huge. This is relevant. This is real. We are talking about human lives. They were children, and they are asking for the justice that they deserve. And they are asking that of their leader of their nation.
Here's another survivor. Let's play this clip right here.
The president was weighing in from the White House, just as we were hearing from you and other survivors on the Hill today. And he was calling it a Democratic hoax.
Are we a hoax? Do we look like a hoax? Were all of us a hoax? I don't think so. I mean, no.
And here's what Donald Trump said in the Oval Office, so you can hear him for yourself when he says it's a Democratic hoax. Let's play it.
Members of Jeffrey Epstein speaking at a press conference on Capitol Hill. They're calling for these case files, these documents to be released. And Thomas Massie, who was sponsoring a discharge petition to get the House to vote on releasing those documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow-walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, Thousands of pages of documents have been given, but it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you look at
Donald Trump also then attacked California Governor Newsom's hands yesterday and said that Newsom's an incompetent guy. What's going on with his hands? Here, play this clip.
And Newsom, this is a very incompetent guy. I watched him with the hands. I'm saying, what's going on with the hands? There's something wrong with him. Do you watch him? There's something wrong.
But what's going on with his hands? I mean, dude, your hands are rotting before our very eyes. They're rotting before our very eyes. I want to talk about something as well that I think needs more attention also. We haven't really heard from the government at all about the 11 Venezuelans that were killed in a kinetic military strike off the Venezuelan coast, not in the territorial waters of the United States. Now, Donald Trump posted this video of the execution of these apparently 11, Trump claims they're Tren de Aragua gang members, is what Trump claims. If you take a look at it, the analysis that I've seen is, at most, this is a 16-foot boat, fishing boat. I don't know how there's 11 people on board on that 16-foot fishing boat. There's no place there on that hull to put enough fuel to get into the United States from Venezuela. There's nowhere on that boat to put enough drugs that would be worth more than the missile they shot at it. I've seen that before. Just America's just going out executing people like that's, and then there's no explanation about what happened here. I remember Abu Ghraib in Iraq and CIA black sites. I'm growing up with the war in Iraq and the war on terror across the world. We're putting 4 ships in Venezuela. We're just killing fishermen and saying they're drug dealers. And if they are drug dealers, then let us know who they are, what the identities, what was the mission, why'd you have to kill them versus arrest them. We just do murders like that now. The former president of the Philippines, I think, in prison for engaging in this type of conduct. This is what's happening in the name of the United States. Horrific stuff. I'm talking about other horrific stuff right here. And by the way, I want to be strong on drugs. I want to make sure no drugs come in. We're just going to kill everybody. That's it. Just killing. That's where we are right now. A few other data points I want to show you. The Florida Surgeon General, and this is aligned with what Trump wants. We've heard Dr. Oz say the same thing. Banning vaccines for children. Or banning mandatory vaccines for children, I should say. So you can't mandate that children get like measles vaccines and mumps and rubella and things that kids die and then kids pass on these diseases. I mean, what the hell's what's going on? And then they can compare vaccines to slavery. And these are really sick people. Here, play this clip.
Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. Okay? Who am I as a government or anyone else, or who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body?
And speaking of sick people, then you have Lara Trump on Laura Ingraham last night saying that prices are actually all coming down and everything's cheaper and we're seeing the numbers all over the place and everything's amazing and we're in a golden age and everyone's rich. Here, play this clip.
For the Democrats, look, prices are coming down. It's not going to happen immediately, but people are actually feeling it out there. This is the thing they should have been paying attention to a year ago when the American people were saying, inflation is really high. It's coming down with Donald Trump. We see the numbers all over the place.
No, Laura, let me explain to you. Your family made billions of dollars selling another meme coin. Not the Trump meme or Melania meme coin, that was the previous grift. Not the NFTs, that was the grift before that. World Liberty Financial Token, that was now trading, and even though it had a disastrous day of trading, or 2 days of trading, down significantly in the trading. Trump made billions of dollars off of this thing. The Pakistani crypto fund put lots of money into this. People who were being investigated by the SEC put money into this thing to prop it up. Sickening. This is what's being done in the name of this is what's happening in the United States. Finally, let me show you this because it's not getting enough attention. I want to give a hat tip to our friends at More Perfect Union. They do a very good job on so much work. They explain how Meta is building a data center in Wyoming that would use more electricity than every home in the state combined. An artificial data center that would use more electricity than every home in Wyoming combined before expanding to as much as 5 times the size will be built soon near Cheyenne, according to the city's mayor. Donald Trump posted a photo of how big this data center is going to look like. Here, take a look at this. I can tell you that when I speak to most Americans, they are deeply concerned about their personal energy prices soaring right now, and it's things like this that are forcing it to soar. And Americans are deeply concerned with unregulated, limitless AI and what that means for workers and how it can destroy people's lives. And these should be nonpartisan issues, whether it's releasing the Epstein files and stop covering up for a sex pedo trafficking ring, which Donald Trump and his regime is doing now, whether it's ensuring that there are safeguards on the advancement and development of AI so that it doesn't screw over people, whether it is focusing on the right types of energy that we need out there and not killing windmills and solar and other types of energy that we need, so that we can not have to deal with our energy prices surging because Donald Trump says weird things about windmills because he didn't like the windmills near his golf course in Aberdeen, Scotland. I want to bring us together around these basic ideas and principles and just talk about them, because this shouldn't be partisan issues. I mean, you're calling the Epstein sex trafficking ring a hoax? That's what Trump's doing. It literally makes me want to vomit. And also looking at Donald Trump makes me want to vomit too.